The Team Lally Show was previously recorded.
It's time to enter the world of real estate in Oahu with Hawaii's only true real estate radio show, the Team Lally Real Estate Show. Grab a pen and get ready to take notes. For the next full hour, Hawaii's premier real estate leader, Adrienne Lally, and Attilio Leonardi will bring you the latest in real estate news and real-world strategies on how they can guarantee to sell your home at a price and deadline you agree to, or they'll buy it. Now, here are your hosts, Adrienne and Attilio.
Welcome to the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the guaranteed sold program, or we'll buy it. If you have any questions, just give us a call at 799-9596 or check us out online at teamlally.com.
Hey everybody, this is Attilio with the art part of the show, Attilio's Random Thoughts. So here's what I'm going to bring to you this week. I'm going to call these parent core values that you should be sharing with your children, because a lot of times we don't. I think as a parent, when you have children, you're not, I guess you can be intentional with what core values you want them to learn. And I think that what most parents do is you just put into your kids what you've learned from who?
From your parents.
From your parents. And as we move forward in time, because of the internet and research and everything, there's just more available to us as parents today than ever before. And so Angelo is my 17-year-old, and I go through what I call the list. I call it the list, but it's the parents' core values, and it's 1 through 5. So I'm going to go quick. Number 1, choose to be happy. 2 most powerful statements: I apologize, and I could be wrong. 3 ways to resolve conflict with another human being. Go to the source, assume positive intent, and come from curiosity. 4, the 4 agreements. And it is, don't take things personally, always do your best, don't make assumptions. And I always forget, I'm trying to remember, what's the 4th one?
Be impeccable to your word.
Be impeccable with your word. And then 5 is the 5 regrets of the dying. I wish I had lived a life true to myself, not one that was expected of me. I wish I hadn't worked so much. I wish I had stayed in touch with friends. I wish I had expressed my emotions more. And then the last one is, I wish I had just chosen to be happier. And those are in my memory, and they're in Angelo's memory bank also, because we go over these verbatim from our memories. And so, and then we have deeper discussions. I've had deeper discussions with him over the years on what exactly, examples for each of these. But there you go. There's Attilio's core values, parent core values that I share with my kids, and more specifically with my youngest, because I've spent a lot of time with him.
We also share that with our team.
Yeah.
Yep. So it could be used as a parent.
Yeah.
In the workplace, relationships. It really, it works everywhere you go.
So if you're a parent out there listening to that and you want to completely rip off those core values. And I'll tell you, here's some of the sources. How to Choose Happiness was the first one from a book. The second one, just, over different things. The third one, Dr. Brene Brown. The fourth one, I think it was a heart surgeon, Don Ruiz, something like that. He wrote a book called The 4 Agreements. And the fifth one was the 5 Regrets of the Dying, from an Australian health person in the healthcare industry that worked with terminal ill patients. So a lot of research, lot of a basis for where all that came from. And I wish I had known that when I started this with my son probably when he was 14. So I wish I had known all of these things. And you know what? Here's the last one. You get around old people, put a mirror underneath their nose, make sure they're still alive. And then number 2, I'm just kidding on that first one, maybe not. But on number 2 is, hey, go up to them. If they're like 80 and say, hey, and you're whatever, 40, ask that 80-year-old, what advice would you give to your 40-year-old? That's the question you should ask every older person that you come across. What advice would you give your 40-year-old self?
Well, speaking of advice, we have Mary from Hawaii Pacific Property Management with her property management advice for us this week.
She's your parent, and all you children who own investment homes. Mama Mary is going to give you some advice this week.
Well, we're going to discuss tenant screening.
Tenant screening.
With my past.
That's my favorite.
Good.
It should be.
I was like,
it avoids all the headaches.
I was talking with Adrienne on the way to the show, and I was like, I hope Mary talks about tenant screening today. Because if you have good tenant screening, the investors are not screaming. You can use that tagline. Yes.
So what is it that you guys do for the screening?
Yeah.
Well, I say the first thing is when you do your showings and you actually meet the prospect, you know. Yeah. And usually that's your first encounter with them. And then, you get a feel of, when they speak with you or you ask them certain questions that, like, oh, why do you like the house? Or what do you like about the house? And then, you get a feel of them first, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And then after that, when they send in their application, then we have our pre-qualifying requirements, which is 600. They have to have at least a FICO score of 675.
Yeah.
Their income has to at least meet 2.5 times the amount of rent.
Yes.
And then we do an extensive background check, which is a tenant verification, employment verification, and then a criminal background check.
Gotcha.
Do you guys ever go and search for them on social media and see what kind of stuff they're posting?
Yeah, we also go onto the Hawaii State website and then we look them up. And if they say like they own a business, we'll go on DCCA to make sure that they're in good standing.
Yeah.
Or their business is in good standing. And it matches, their name matches, the applicant matches that business name.
Yeah.
You guys really go deep. You're like detectives. You're like property manager / detective.
Yes. Because they're going to be in this contract with us for at least a year, right? A minimum of a year. And so you want to try to mitigate a lot of issues before it starts.
Yeah. Yeah. These, and do you, and you're in that first encounter, you're listening for red flag questions like, does the property owner, have they ever pressed charges before with a previous tenant? Is the garage big enough for my heavy metal band for practice?
Yes.
And then the last one is it okay if I host chicken fights in the backyard? Yeah, those would be the red flag questions. Yes.
Yeah. Or when is rent due, on the first, can I pay on a fifth?
Yes.
Because I don't get paid till,
So, or like can you guys take one jar full of pennies for the rent? Next year they're no longer going to make pennies. It costs like 4 cents to make a penny, so it doesn't make sense. So they're getting rid of the penny.
Yeah.
So just a red flag. Heads up, you guys may be seeing big mason jars of pennies, mayonnaise jars full of pennies for the rent because they're going to get rid of the penny. Nah.
Yes.
But these are all excellent things that you guys do, and I just want to let our listeners know that not all property management companies do this of an extensive background check and screening of their tenants.
I would say if you're for rent by owner, Mary, if you agree with me, I would say there's a high probability if you're for rent by owner, you're not doing this level of depth.
Of course not. Yeah, and usually that's when they want to turn over the property to a property manager.
Yeah.
Because they've had issues with the tenants and, they don't know the laws. So it's difficult.
I would say too that probably top of the list for the reason why you guys that you have issues with tenants is the lack of improper screening.
Yes, and I think like with all that screening that you guys do, like this is why you have such a high level of success and such a low. I mean, I think there's only been a handful, if that, of evictions.
Yeah.
And before we let you go, Mary,
that is correct.
Let's talk about the eviction guarantee and how that ties in with this tenant screening.
Yeah.
Well, so in order for an eviction guarantee to
be eligible.
Yes, to be eligible, right?
Yeah.
They have to meet all the qualifying requirements.
Yeah.
So even if a tenant has no credit,
yes,
I mean, they still meet the income requirements. Still no eviction guarantee because they have not met all the pre-qualifying requirements.
Yeah. You're saying if you guys do, if they come up A+ or whatever, good grades, good reports on all of the categories, that you guys will put your eviction guarantee in place and say if we need to get them out, we'll get them out on you guys' dime in time. Awesome. That's not like a no-brainer.
That is correct.
People listening right now should just call you and be like, where do I sign up? Like, duh.
Yes, they should.
Like, duh. Manage my property.
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
Awesome.
and owners are also highly involved in that process,
Yes. Yeah, you tee it up and put it in front of them, and ultimately they need to make the decision.
Yeah, you give them, like, here's 3 tenants that all meet the eviction guarantee screening. So which one do you prefer?
Yeah.
Of the 3?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Exactly. Okay, good job.
And a lot of companies don't do that.
I would say most of them don't. I would agree.
No, I think that
That's why
as
you guys
far
are
as
so
I
busy.
know, it's like you're the only company that offers this eviction guarantee.
Yes.
So
no one else is doing it.
Correct.
All right. Thanks, Mary.
thank you, Mary. Excellent
Thank
tip
you.
this week.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you. So that was Mary from Hawaii Pacific Property Management. And how can people get a hold of them?
So she is an expert we trust, and all you got to go to teamlally.com.
Yep.
Select the resource tab, and you will see all the experts that we trust right there.
Hey, speaking of making the biggest financial decision of your life, buying a home, and how are you going to come up with the money? And then if your interest rate on your current loan is too high and you want to refinance, who's that expert?
We have Danny Langerman from DHA Financial.
Hey, Danny, what you got for us this week?
How about today, this week? So one of the things that I've been actually coming across here lately are borrowers that want to be pre-approved, and they feel like they should check every single box in order to get them pre-approved. And a lot of times that's not the case.
Sure.
I think what these borrowers will overlook sometimes is there's what's called compensating factors.
Yeah.
And so for underwriting purposes, we'll actually use those compensating factors. So, compensating factor for kind of, definition purposes, it's the positive attribute in a borrower's financial profile that's going to help them offset a higher risk element, like, for example, a higher debt-to-income ratio or possibly a lower credit score.
Yeah.
So it's going to allow underwriters to actually approve loans that might otherwise fall outside that standard lending guideline. So it gives them better opportunity to where, a lot of these buyers right now are thinking that they have to absolutely be perfect in every single category, and that's actually not the case.
Gotcha.
So what you're saying is just dig a little deeper, because you may have some kind of compensating factor that will offset a lower credit score or a high debt to income ratio. You just got to, uncover things a little bit more on their particular situation.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm assuming Attilio's next question is going to be, what are some compensating factors?
Yeah, give us an example.
Give that to us.
So some good compensating factors, for example, would be significant cash reserves after closing. So if a borrower got 3 to 6 months in the bank for extra mortgage payments, that's a compensating factor. Strong employment history, another compensating factor if you have 2 or more years with the same employer or in the same industry.
Yeah.
Or a lot of times, another compensating factor is a larger down payment. So lenders are going to look at that as you've got more skin in the game.
Yeah.
And then another compensating factor will be minimal payment shock, which a lot of people may not have heard of. So what that is if you're going from your from a mortgage payment from your current rent payment, and there's not a big difference there.
Yeah.
So that's minimal payment shock. Obviously, credit history is another compensating factor, or additional income or a lower debt to income ratio is a compensating factor with, if you're using your spouse's income or a side business, and you'll have a lower debt to income and obviously more income that way.
And I want to bring up a compensating factor where, it personally affected me, where, a few years back, I had gone through a divorce and there was some missed mortgage payments, and my credit went way down. But it was this one little tiny blip in my entire credit history that was very unusual. So after that was resolved, because of that compensating factor of everything being normal and I had this event in my life, I was able to do a refinance within 6 months. So I think it also, too, is like the history of the credit and the payments. If everything is, great, and then all of a sudden there's this, event, a lot of times the underwriters will understand that, okay, there's an event. This is not normal behavior. We're going to approve this.
Yep. I mean, another great, and being on the veteran side of things, or the housing allowance that you can allow.
Yes.
That is huge for, getting a loan approved that way for a compensating factor, despite not having any down payment whatsoever.
The BAH, that good old tax-free BAH.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Well, that is a good update for this week.
Yes, never too early to get pre-approved. Just see what you can do.
I think as deep as the people borrowed needs to go is just to call Danny.
Yes.
That's as deep as you need to go.
And then he will uncover all those compensating factors to make the loan a little bit more attractive.
Yeah, so don't let misperception keep you from making a call to find out what you qualify or pre-approved for, because Danny can... He's like a therapist. He's going to dig deeper. Tell me about your childhood. How are your parents? What's your credit score?
Well, thank you, Danny. This is an excellent reminder for our listeners to, just give it a shot. Let's see what we can do with that pre-approval.
So, So go lay on the couch over at Danny's place, and he's going to bring out his notepad and pen and take notes and be a very good listener. He's going to dig a little deeper. Yeah.
Thank you, Danny.
Thank you, Danny.
All right, so
thanks, guys.
That's Danny with DHA Financial. He is an expert we trust, and he's on the resource tab with all the other experts we trust. So you can give him a call and get that pre-approval started.
All right, talking about, we wanted to talk about building wealth. So what better person to have on about building wealth and being more smart with your wealth, managing your wealth, than Kyle Shimoda, INPAC Wealth Solutions.
That's right. Kyle, what do you have for us this week?
Yes.
Hello. Good to hear you all.
Yes.
Well, I guess, last time we spoke was around the areas of people that own investment property and being tired of managing the property and being landlords.
Yes.
And, one of the things we're a full wealth management firm. We do financial planning and investments. What we focus on and have a specialty in is the Delaware Statutory Trust, which qualifies as like-kind replacement property in a 1031 exchange. And it's a great place to grow and build wealth because, as we all know, real estate is one of the best things to invest your money in while you're alive, but also a great thing to leave to your heirs because of the step-up in cost basis. And what we find when we work with some of our clients in retirement is they might have owned property for a long time, and the property is not as brand new as it used to be, so there's a lot more maintenance, a lot more work, and they're at a point in their life when they want to have less work and more time to travel and spend with their grandkids. And so a DST or Delaware Statutory Trust can be a good fit for some clients to continue to build wealth, transfer it to their heirs with a step-up in basis, yet not have to manage and worry about the headaches of the property.
I think, personally, we've been doing this 20 years, and I will tell you, I don't think I've ever come, when the mom and dad pass away or the whoever's part of the trust or owns the property, I don't think I've ever been in a situation where the kids came to us and said, we're thinking about selling, and then they said, you know what, we're just going to keep it. It's always been sell. And even if, somebody wanted to buy somebody else out, and even if they could, it's always sell.
Yeah.
And I think the DST, the Delaware Statutory Trust, it's what I'm going to do with my kids. You
already have one DST.
Yeah, it's like the kids can just imagine you leave somebody one single family home, I don't know, whatever, just worth $2 million. The only way you can divide that up equally with the 3 kids where they can do whatever with their part is if you get a massive chainsaw and cut the house into 3 pieces. Now, realistically, no one's going to do that. And then, liability-wise, legal, you can't really just
It won't be worth $2 million anymore.
No, you have 3 pieces worth nothing. And so with a DST, it's like proverbially taking a chainsaw and cutting up that investment, and it doesn't affect the other child's shares because they can
decide what they want to do.
Yeah, they can keep it and keep the income, or they can sell it, and they don't need to do it all at the same time, right, Kyle?
Exactly. The only kid, because usually there's 3 kids. There's one that really wants to sell because they want the money. There's one that wants to keep it because they want to continue to receive the income. Yeah. But the third kid is the one that's out of luck. That's the one that wants to live there or is already living there, rent free. Mm-hmm. But we tell that child, well, now you've got options. You can continue to receive the income and cover your rent, or you can cash it out and put as a down payment on a house, so you don't have to worry about living in that single house.
You know, Kyle, you just triggered my memory here. We are experts. We have so many different strategies for getting the rent-free sibling out of the home. It would blow your mind how many strategies we have. We just don't even have enough time left in this show to go over the strategies, but I will tell you the results have been 100%. We've been able to get every single occupant out of the home. The most toughest challenge was...
I wanted to say without police involvement.
Yeah, I mean, I used the gasoline and the match that one time, but he blew out the match and he said, no, okay, I leave. No, we didn't have to do that. But every single result, so if your listeners or Kyle, if you have clients that are like, we don't know how to get this kid out of the house. He's been living there rent-free. He's a hoarder. He got 9 cars. We can't get him out of the house.
So that we can sell it.
Yeah, so we can sell it and do a 1031 into a DST. Mm-hmm. So
we have solutions.
Kyle, have you ever come across a DST with the entitled child still living in it, needing to get out so you can sell?
No,
never. Because give us examples of DSTs and why the entitled child is not going to be sleeping on the couch in this properties.
Yeah, what are these DSTs?
Oh, yes.
What are these DSTs?
Yeah, so these DSTs, just to be clear, when you do the 1031 exchange, you become a fractional owner in an institutional quality property. So you don't have the keys to the third floor unit at a student housing. But that's an example. Is it might be a student housing. It could be self-storage. It could be a warehouse. It could be life sciences. Yes. So these are just some examples. We even have hospitality now. Yeah. So a whole bunch of different things. But you don't have the keys. You don't have, you own the fractional shares, which is why you can qualify for an exchange. Yes. However, they don't have the right to live on the property.
And you get the 2 of the 3 that you like, which is you get the growth of your investment and you get the income.
Oh, and the tax deductions too. Don't forget that. That's pretty important. You get some good tax deductions.
But you don't have all the responsibility of the management or the responsibility of having to get people out, or that uncomfortable conversation with your 45-year-old who's lived there and never paid rent and plays video games all day and has Cheeto fingers and a Star Wars T-shirt.
That's very specific. Very specific.
No.
All right. Well, Kyle, we're so happy that you called in and reminded all of our listeners about the DST and this part of the 1031 exchange strategy. Yeah. This is great info. We actually have a page on our website, teamlally.com/DST. Yeah. And you can find out a little bit more and even get a hold of Kyle that way. Yeah. So please go there and learn more.
All right, Kyle. And then, Kyle, the best testimonial was we was at one of your guys' appreciation dinners, and what was her name? Diane? Julie?
There was a lady who had sold, like, I think 10 properties.
It was
Washington or something. She had a lot of properties.
Kyle, you know what? That was your client. You know what she said? She said, I wish I had known about this sooner because I would have done them all earlier.
Yes.
And
she was so happy.
Yeah, and started enjoying her life sooner in life than where she at. But she's completely happy with the multiple DSTs of all the properties
and all the income and no headache.
Yeah, she does.
Correct. The biggest headache is figuring out, just come tax time, making sure we have all the 1099s. Yeah. But that's the great thing. It's 1099s versus K1s.
Yes.
Yeah, DSTs are like Bob Ross paintings. What did he say? There are no mistakes, just happy accidents.
All right. Thank you, Kyle.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. So again, that was Kyle Shimoda. You can get a hold of him by going to teamlally.com/DST. All right. We're going to take a break, but stay with us. When we come back, we'll be talking with Dr. David Yew of Aesthetics Hawaii. He's going to talk about their stunning new Kaka'ako office and how their mission, values, and next level client experience are redefining beauty and self-care.
So stay with us.
Have you ever been in a financial bind? How long did you wait before you called in the experts? Aaron and Alexis knew they couldn't wait much longer. They were preparing to return to the mainland and carrying both a rent and a mortgage on their home in Mililani. It was definitely time to call my friends Adrienne, Lally, and Attilio Leonardi of Team Lally Real Estate Group of Keller Williams Honolulu to step in and help. They dove right in and discussed the selling process, wasting no time. Adrienne and Attilio prepared their home for market, and within 3 short weeks, the listing went live. But wait, not even a full week later, Aaron and Alexis had 2 offers on their home and closed escrow over the asking price. When you need to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama, trust Adrienne and Attilio of Team Lally to do the job for you. Call 808-799-9596. That's 808-799-9596. Or visit teamlally.com, spelled Lally, Lally.
Hey, Sean Hannity here with the only real estate team in your market that I recommend. Adrienne Lally and Attilio Leonardi of Team Lally Real Estate Group of Keller Williams Honolulu. If someone's home needs repairs to sell for more money, but it's too expensive, well, what's your best advice for them so they can still sell their home for the most money possible?
Sean, our advice is to have us professionals come walk through your home and give you the real list of prep items that give you the biggest bang for your buck.
In fact, Sean, this list comes from us having sold over 1,000 plus homes and knowing what buyers really want. So sellers, let us come visit. We can help. We'll even put up our own money to get the list done and get reimbursed at closing. It's called our 10K for Upgrades program.
All right, thanks for keeping us up to date. Call Team Lally now at 799-9596 or online at teamlally.com. That's teamlally.com.
Taking one cash offer for your home doesn't have to be your only option. I'm Barbara Corcoran, and especially in today's current market, having a local real estate agent who offers great marketing and options that are customized to fit your needs is smart. In Honolulu, the agents I trust are Adrienne Lally and Attilio Leonardi. They can give you a guarantee to sell your home, flexible fees, or up to $10,000 in cash to help with repairs. Get the option that's right for you. Go to teamlally.com.
Welcome back, and thanks for listening to the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the Guaranteed Sold program, or we'll buy it. I'm Adrienne.
And I'm Attilio.
And if you have any questions, just give us a call at 799-9596 or check us out online at teamlally.com.
Our guest today is board certified and founder of Aesthetics Hawaii, originally from New York City. He earned both his undergraduate and medical degrees from Columbia University and has been serving Hawaii community since 2002.
He is passionate about helping people look and feel their best through safe, evidence-based aesthetic treatments. Known for his natural results and personalized care, he's built a trusted practice focused on education, empowerment, and long-term relationships. Please welcome back our guest, Dr. David Yew.
Hi, Dr. Yew.
Aloha.
Aloha. Hi, team.
Hello. So, we got questions.
Yeah, so since the last time you were on our show, there has been some exciting things happening for Aesthetics Hawaii, especially with this brand new office in Kaka'ako.
Yeah.
Tell us about, how that came about and just like the design and the vision.
Yes.
Oh, that's a great topic. I love aesthetic treatments in South Korea, Korean, and I go frequently back and forth.
Yeah.
And it seems that Korean aesthetics has really been at the forefront.
Yeah.
Skincare, in terms of people traveling, they always seem to talk about how wonderful the aesthetic spas there are. So I do have a colleague at Grand Plastic Surgery. It's one of the premier places in Gangnam.
Mm-hmm.
And I've pretty much copied that med spa from the design, and we built this space from the ground up to be like a Korean med spa, but here in Honolulu.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful location. It's right next to the BMW dealership, right across from Lexus.
That's right. So if you're at BMW and you look directly across, we're on the corner of Imperial Plaza, and facing one side, and then the other side faces directly across Yanagi Sushi.
I think it's interesting too, because I was thinking about it, Doctor, before you came on the show. I was like, a lot of people go to Korea. You know, it's like Mexico, we have the Corona. Jamaica, we have Munchies. Hawaii, we're the Aloha State. So places like and Korea is known for aesthetics travel and stuff like that. So you're saving some people, and all their Hawaiian miles is going to be converting over to Alaska. So they might as well just, keep those miles to go other places, and then instead of Korea, come to your office in Kakako.
There you go. You'll save some time.
Kapiolani. Yeah. So.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
That was part of the plan, actually, was to bring some of the best aesthetic services in the world.
Yeah.
And Korea, like you said, is at the forefront of that. So we do offer quite a bit of the same procedures. An exciting one is the Korean glass skin procedure. So that's something that we offer as well.
And then, Dr. Yew, what other kind of services are being offered? I know you guys offer a wide variety of things there at Aesthetics Hawaii.
Wait, hold on. The listener's like, what is this Korean glass procedure? Can you give us little hints about it so people will be like, ooh, I need to sign up for that. What is it about? Yeah, tell us more.
Sure, I'll answer that, and it'll help segue right into Adrienne's question as well. So we had a couple of clients that went to Korea, and they kept mentioning, oh, they're doing this Korean glass skin procedure. Do you offer it?
Yes.
And this is several years ago, so I went, and it's basically a combination of a very light filler mixed with a specific concentration of Botox together.
Yes.
Then you place it very superficially, mostly in the cheek area. And what it will do then is it will give this sort of hydrated, glossy appearance. And there's no downtime. It doesn't hurt. So you're kind of getting the best of Botox and fillers at the same time.
Nice.
It's exciting.
Now, Dr. Yew, all these new procedures, so I've known Dr. Yew for many years.
Yes.
And one of the things that I really respect and enjoy about him and, how his approach is that these procedures, he will do them on himself first. Yes. He will test everything out first before he offers it to his patients.
Yes, I'm still doing that. I feel like I'm doing it more now than I ever have before.
Yeah.
And the main reason why, it's part of our core values. One of them is to treat others the way that they want to be treated.
Yes.
And so on that note, if we're going to offer something to somebody, well, then I better make sure that I know all the pros and cons and make sure that the results match the marketing.
Yes.
So it seems in this world today, this amazing world of information and marketing, that there seems to be more products, treatments, and devices coming out all the time, more than I've ever seen it before.
Yes.
And so therefore, we need to be careful to test it all. And I think that's one of the strategies that we want to focus on, is to be an honest, expert advocate.
Yes. Yeah, because
so with a lot of the...
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go
Continue.
ahead.
No, I was going to say that here's what I noticed. They put the word Korean in front of everything. Like, this guy was like, we do Korean couples therapy. You're going to come in, we're going to yell at you and tell you, figure it out, and then we're going to hit you and then send you. No, I'm just kidding. But everything is like Korean this, but you actually you go to Korea and research it.
And then with the, when you have it done on yourself, I don't know if you're still doing this, it's like you do like half of your face or half of whatever so that you can compare. Yes. And so Dr. Yew is walking around with he's like half done.
Yes, he calls that the Quasimodo test. He's so dedicated.
Yeah, it is the Korean Quasimodo.
Yeah.
Who's that Batman character that had half his face?
Yeah, the character was Two-Face.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
He was nice on one side, and then he was evil on the other side, and then so he had dark black hair on one side, and then white hair on the other side.
That's Dr. Yew while he's testing his different techniques.
Yep, and he's going to have a booth at Comic-Con. No.
Well, we just tested something 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
And once again, half the face, half the neck. There's, I think, 80% of the things that are out there are either no different than what's existing or inferior.
Yes.
So just take that into account. So if a consumer were to look at 10 new products that come out on their feed, 80% of that is going to disappoint them.
Yes.
That's
so you're either going to spend the money and then get disappointed, or I'm trying to teach my children, that in this world of like information overload, I think the challenge is to discern what is real from what is just exaggeration.
Yes. Yeah, especially with the influencers. Yeah, because I talked about it on a previous show where unfortunately, a lot of adults, kids, everybody, somebody who's got 50 million views will make a statement about something, and then there was a Chinese. I was listening to a podcast about pearls in China, and this one influencer was just wearing necklaces, and the pearl necklaces, and the entire show sold out. Now that's one thing you're laying on your neck. But when you're talking about stuff that's going to be injected into your neck, I want to not be relying on influencers and surface level information.
Nope. You got to rely on Dr. Yew.
Dr. Yew.
Who's done the research.
He's done the research on himself. Tell us more about the core values within you guys' company, as part of your mission statement.
Sure. That's really the key to everything.
Yeah.
So we rebranded in addition to getting a brand new, beautiful office. And the rebranding really focused on 3 elements which we put into a logo.
Yeah.
So for anyone that stops by the office, right in the front, they'll notice at the bottom there's a logo that features what looks like an orchid. Right above it, blended with it, is a butterfly. And then in the center of the butterfly, shooting up out of it, is a lotus. So the idea is that the orchid signifies caring. The butterfly signifies uplifting.
Yes.
And then finally, the lotus, which is amazing, signifies empowerment. And with the lotus, for people that know, it actually has to grow through the mud to actually blossom into a flower.
Yes. And,
so that kind of just signifies, our life, right? So, nothing really substantial and beautiful comes out unless it has gone through a little bit of the mud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It makes me want to go.
So when you put this all together, or a mud bath.
Yes.
At a Korean spa.
Yes, I want to get a Korean mud bath now. But you were saying?
So what we try to tell our staff is that from the moment that they pick up the phone,
yes,
the client should feel that they're being cared for.
Mm-hmm.
When they come into the office to get treated, our providers and myself will uplift them.
Yes.
Like a butterfly.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, if this works, then they will feel empowered to go out into the world and to be their best self.
Yes.
Well, I would agree. I would agree with the core values, and then how your staff is trained and they are, living into the core values with how they treat the clients.
Yeah, and how long have you been
over a decade? Over a decade
working with Dr. Yew.
Yes.
And Dr. Yew, you said something that really struck me, and I always remember it every time I'm in your presence, is that your experience that you want to have with your clients is that people can't tell that they visited your office in that wink wink nudge way, but they just sense that something's
different, something's changed
in a positive way, in an uplifting way.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was like, wow.
Oh.
So I'm like, that's like, I think we think too much of like the LA version of aesthetics, and that's the stuff that we see on the reality shows, and then everybody wants the Korean version because that's like you said, when you look in the mirror and you feel better, you're projecting to the people around you, and then it's mirrored back to you.
Yeah, and then they feel better.
So I mean, times when I've gone with Adrienne to the office, like, first of all, I know this is busy, and everybody is just in a good mood.
Yes.
Yeah. The patients and the staff. I think a lot of times, too, it might be my dad jokes, and they laugh at all my dad jokes, whether they're funny or not. But Adrienne, you had some more questions for Dr. Yew? Or?
Oh, yeah. So let's talk about the all the services that you guys offer, because I know it's pretty vast. So let's go through in case one of our listeners want to come and have a visit with Dr. Yew.
People are excited to hear that because they're hearing the core values, and that's what's the underlying foundation of all these services that you're providing. So it creates trust. It creates, people are excited and want to know more.
Yes. So let's talk about the services.
Yeah.
Sure. As you were talking, Adrienne, thank you for coming forward on that. I was looking at the dates, and we've been together for 15 years.
Is it 15? Oh, my goodness.
See?
Time flies.
You made her feel so uplifted and well that like 15 was, for her reality, 10.
I said over a decade.
Over a decade.
Over a decade.
There you go.
We have a very long-standing relationship, me and Dr. Yew.
Yep.
Keeping me looking
it's
beautiful.
Very similar. I mean, Adrienne, you're beautiful with or without anything.
Yes,
and
I agree.
She puts a lot of work. She puts a lot of work into this.
Yes.
So I think for the listeners, I would just want people to know that it's very much like your hairstylist. If you're the kind of person that sticks with the same stylist for many, many years, I think you should approach the face the same way.
Yes.
It's a relationship. They know you. And I think the face is a little more complicated. So, to your point, we want to have the long approach.
Yeah.
Where we see you over time. And I challenge the people on social media, if they're listening, stop putting before and after photos on the same day. I would love to see a before and after photo of somebody over 10 years.
Yes.
Well, Dr. Yew, he has that of me.
Yeah.
Yes, I do, and it's on my slideshow too. Yeah. So, thank you.
Because it says what you do is long lasting. The things that you do.
There's trust.
Yeah.
I don't let anyone touch my face except for Dr. Yew.
And me.
And you.
And you.
I give you the best compliment, Dr. Yew, because in the iPhone, when people call each other and you're in the phone, The face fills the whole screen now. The face fills the whole screen. So when Adrienne calls me, her face fills the whole screen. And partly due to you and my relationship with her, I smile when I get a call from her.
Oh.
Because her face fills my whole iPhone. And stuff.
So. That is so sweet. And that's without Photoshop too, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, straight up, just a straight on photo. No effects, no whatever, all those things that people do to it.
No filters.
No. The Dr. Yew effect, if anything.
So going back to, what is it that we, what is the services?
Yeah.
I want to go over the services that most aesthetic practices have, that we have, and some of the exciting things that we now have that go beyond it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think our bread and butter that we're known for is injectables.
Yes.
So injectables include things like Botox, injectable fillers, Sculptra. In addition to that, we also want to emphasize skincare and skin quality with things like microneedling, things such as Morpheus, which is radio frequency and microneedling.
Mm-hmm.
And then part of the thing we really want to also add to this is longevity wellness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's an interesting word, longevity, aesthetic wellness.
Yes.
So what do you have for that longevity?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. So this is exciting. So I will be 55 very soon.
Okay.
And in addition to looking youthful on the outside, at this age now, in my mid-50s, I'm actually more concerned about being youthful and healthy on the inside for my heart and brain as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, people know this guy named Brian Johnson.
Yeah. He spends $100,000 a year just on supplements.
And tests all sorts of stuff, right?
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. So he's the guy that's trying not to die, and he's a millionaire, and he's doing all kinds of things to live longer. So think of what we do as taking some of the things that he's doing, but with medical supervision, guidance, and evidence-based approach.
Yes.
Because I think 80% of the things he's doing is sort of skeptical, and I question it.
Yeah.
But there's 20% in there that is actually quite valid and worth pursuing.
Gotcha.
So we've added a few of those.
Oh, nice. Yeah, because he's developed. People have known who immediately who you said. But tell us about. So you went and got Brian Johnson's 20%.
Yeah.
Tell us more.
What is it?
Yeah. Okay. So, number one, the buzzword this year seems to be peptides.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys been hearing that? In the news, peptide.
I actually used some peptides to help heal my knees after I tore both my ACLs and from the surgery, and it was like it worked wonders.
Yes.
Exactly. So there's a few of these peptides that are medically valid. So it sounds like you probably used BP157.
That's the one.
That's the one.
That's right. So I'm on that right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one that I think most of the world is familiar with is Ozempic or Mounjaro.
Yes, weight loss.
And yes, it's beyond that. The weight loss is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
So it's been around long enough now, but they're actually seeing more benefit, not just in the diabetes or weight loss.
Yeah.
But actually, I think the power of this is even bigger. And it's in the cardiovascular benefits and the brain health benefits.
Because you have millions of people trying it, so they're getting a lot of
data.
A lot of data, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think the vast majority of the data right now is focused on weight loss and diabetes.
Yes.
But in my personal experience, my cholesterol my hemoglobin A1C, my blood pressure. All these things have been so treated with the GLPs, which are Ozempic and Mounjaro, that I'm off of all my medicines that I was taking prior to being on them.
Wow.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So you're having additional benefits.
Oh, and it's huge. Yeah. It's huge in so many ways that go beyond the obvious. So I'll just, say a few of them right now.
Yeah.
For anyone that has any struggles with cravings or addictions,
yes,
the alcohol is one. Let's just say eating late at night with carbs.
What about sweets? Sweets late at night.
Sweets.
Oh, better give me that Ozempic.
That's a big one.
There's ding dong wrappers all over my car.
It's true.
I need the Ozempic.
It's amazing. If you do it, those ding dong wrappers, you're not going to have them. I mean, you may have one because you still have the desire to try it, but you're just not going to eat 10 of them. I'll be vulnerable. I love drinking alcohol.
Yeah,
and I would think to myself, oh yeah, a glass of wine a day is good for you.
Yeah.
That's actually not true.
Yes.
Most people do not just stick to one glass a day.
Yeah.
And over the course of many years, when you get into your 50s and 60s, I think the alcohol could become more problematic than someone who's 25 going out drinking and, they can recover just fine.
Yeah.
So ever since I've been on this, my wife has been so pleased. I'll have an occasional drink, but overall, I just don't have the craving.
That's amazing.
I need to get this stuff. I went on vacation with Adrienne, and I told her, I'm going to the car to get something. And then I went to the Quickie Mart, and I got a bunch of Snickers. And then
it's true.
She's like, she got up the next morning, like, what the heck? Where did these Snickers come from? I was hiding them all over the room. So anyway.
Okay, so Dr. Yew, our show is coming to
I think we got to have Dr. Yew again on.
I agree. Yeah. This has been an amazing conversation.
It's like a White Lotus episode series. You just want more. Everybody's talking about it, and they want to know.
We'll invite you back. And our listeners,
they're gonna see the next
you got to give Dr. Yew a call, Aesthetics Hawaii.
But if there's, Dr. Yew, if there's any one last thing you want to share with our listeners, what would it be?
Experience matters.
That's true.
That's it.
Yes.
Experience matters.
Spot on.
A med spot's opening every month somewhere, and if you're going to them, just ask an honest question. Hey, how long you've been doing this?
Yes.
And if it's less than 5 years, just know that they're still learning. It doesn't mean that they're not good. It just means experience does matter. So
tell them you left something in your car and go to Dr. Yew's.
There you go.
You will be right back. Never.
Thank you, Dr. Yew.
Thank you, Dr. Yew.
All right. Thank you. Right. Okay.
Right.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Thanks for listening, and thank you to our sponsors.
Jody and Derek of Pacific Rim Mortgage.
Bradley of Allstate Insurance.
Kenji with Pitter to Post Home Inspections.
John with Kilauea Pest Control.
Duke with Hawaii Pacific Property Management.
Robinson, Fine Line Paintworks.
Ampy with Estate Planning Group.
Jason Wu, Attorney at Law.
Rhino with Hawaii Unified.
Janice of Dreamhouse Drafting.
Fabio with Hawaii Water Damage
Kyle
Restoration.
of Impact Wealth.
Benji with Hawaii Referral Agent.
Brian with Cleanscape LLC.
And Danny with Langerman with DHA Financial LLC. If you want to get any of our sponsors, you just got to go to teamlally.com.
We also want to give a big thank you to Leah Rodriguez, our producer here in the studio.
And Sheen, our video producer. Chee-hoo!
Make sure to tune in next week. We'll have an awesome guest talking about something that'll change your life.
Forever. This is the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the guaranteed
sold program. If we can't sell your home at the agreed upon price in our time frame, we'll have it bought for cash.
Thanks and aloha.
The preceding program was sponsored by Team Lally.